Hi, it's Ileana. So today I am going to go back to Area 51 and I have created a secondary copy of the Area 51 book with a slightly different title called Hidden Secrets Connected to Area 51, Cloning with Nanotechnology and Antigravity Craft. This is the black and white version of the book. The color version is up on Amazon, and this one, the black and white, will also be up on Amazon and my website. So that sort of reflects the request that there be two versions of the book, because some people have said they would like to have the colored version, and some have said that they would like to purchase the black and white version of the book. There is a variance in the price because colored copies of the books are usually a bit more expensive. The black and white ones are not so expensive in this type of a version. So I have, per the request, I have created two versions of the books with just slightly different titles, because you can't publish a book under the same title. But it's the exact same book, except this is in black and white, and the other one that I talked about previously a few days ago, that one is in color. It's the same book. It talks about what Area 51 is, the history of Area 51, the cloning, the nanotechnology, the AI systems, the security at Area 51, the various Area 51 aircrafts, the Black projects, the Black Ops, Majestic 12, also the various remote viewings of Area 51, sections S1 through sections S6, and the other levels. There's 52 levels. We talk about the CERN technology, the wormholes, the time traveling, the going into another universe, the bioengineering labs, which is the cloning labs, S1, how that's linked to Dulce and New Mexico, between those areas, because Area 51 is interconnected with all of that. So that is discussed. Also implants and how implants work with cloning, how to put a soul consciousness inside a clone. That is covered in the book as well. We also cover the different technologies, the Black Ops technologies, reverse engineering of extraterrestrial crafts that has been done at Area 51, DNA cloning vaults, also the Pentagon Black Vault Facility, Base 211 in Antarctica, and how that stuff works, because UFOs have been around since the 1920s and earlier. We also discussed the Nimitz encounter with the exotic technology of the UAPs UFO crafts. It's not science fiction, it actually exists. It's developed in these black projects connected to private aerospace companies, Lockheed Martin, Skunk Works, Raytheon, General Dynamic, and others, Douglas McDonald and others. We discussed the laser technology, the hypersonic weapons that have been created in Area 51, the testing of the atomic bomb stuff. That's part of the history of Area 51. The stealth crafts, the hypersonic weapons, engineering of the Tic Tacs and the gimbal UFOs, UAPs, how that's connected to the Navy, the Nimitz UFO, Area 51, and how that's connected to the aerospace companies, who makes the Tic Tacs, because that's exotic technology. We also discuss the metamaterials in this book and where that was taken from the 1947 Roswell crash of 3 UFOs and the reptilian gray hybrid beings that were on those crafts, and what another country had crashed near Roswell, New Mexico that same year with human experiments, human body modification, experimentation to make humans look like extraterrestrials for a very specific reason. We talk about the TR-3A superfast air vehicle, the TR-3B Astra, the triangular crafts, the Northrop anti-gravity disc, the Lockheed X-22A anti-gravity disc fighter, Lockheed Martin X-33A military spaceplane that actually delivers supplies to the military space station and to some of the outposts and research facilities on the moon and Mars, the Aurora SR-33A moderate-sized spacefaring vehicle, electromagnetic propulsion technologies, anti-gravity technologies. Talk about the Neuralink, the alien implants, and cloning, how that's connected, implanting soul consciousness into cloned bodies, photonic mind inserts through holographic projection. We talk about the exotic crafts spotted near Area 51 in the 1970s, today as well, to this day. We're talking about the 5 secretive new warplanes that the US is developing for the next big fight or flight, however you choose to look at it, and mysterious aircraft spotted at Area 51 in unprecedented satellite image. So we explore everything connected to Area 51 from start to present, from the beginning to today, and I'm going to show you some of what these format of this book looks like in black and white, because I showed what it looks like in color. Now I'm looking at it from the black and white perspective, and that's how it looks in print on Amazon, and that's how it will look in the black and white PDF version. So for folks that would like to get the color version, the links are in the previous video for the color version, and the links for the black and white version of the book will be in the video description below. And a lot of stuff about reverse engineering at Area 51 information. So this book covers the history of Area 51 and everything associated with it. And I thought it would be important to also include my own remote viewing of Area 51 in the Dulce facility and the cloning that happened at both sites, as well as my experience being abducted in Area 51, plus the Project Looking Glass S4 Area 51, what I know about that and the documentation associated with it, remote viewing Area 51, S1 to S6 facilities, the generators. There's these advanced generators that power the whole facility and the cloning aspects of that facility in S1 and those bioengineering laboratories. They've found ancient AI spheres, sentient AI encased spheres. They've studied that at Area 51, and this is what I was talking about, 48 levels to 52, where the CERN stuff happens in the DNA projects as well. There's network of bases and bioengineering labs under Dulce, New Mexico in Area 51. All that information is here in the book. And it is interesting. So it's all in the book, what that looks like. They talk about pyramid complex under Dulce. Very interesting. That's my own experience. Area 51 underground facility. My abduction happened in 2015, and I have experience working with genetics in planetary corporations in the cybernetics labs attached to the Mars bases, and also in lunar space operations on the moon, and past Atlantean lifetime working as a geneticist with genetics, studying human ET hybridization and different genomics and DNAs of humans and extraterrestrials, and doing DNA splicing, human ET DNA combinations, hybrids. And Area 51 did experiments with human ET hybridization with gray DNA, but they never allowed grays in their underground facilities ever. And I talk about my own abduction experience in Area 51 and the tunnel systems, the deep elevator shafts, how the cloning facility looks like. All of that stuff is here. The portal beam technology, how they can beam you out from your bed and you end up at the facility. Talk about the mind wiping technology as well, the portal beam stuff, and a little bit about the Atlantean past life as the geneticist and why I ended up in Area 51 S1 in an abduction experience several times, fully grown human gray hybrids in S1 bioengineering lab facility, how they're grown, maturated, and what happens afterwards to them. So that's covered. The various cloning programs on Earth and off-world. There's a facility in the Kuiper Belt, which is military cloning facility. This is a remote viewing that I had done to see what's going on there, and they have been abducting humans since 1990s into these cloning programs to be super soldiers, pilots, and basically work in off-world programs. And they've been put in cybernetic bodies as well. After the human clone is cloned, is put in a cyborg body to act as a super soldier. And they've worked with transferring human soul consciousness into the cloned bodies and the biological human cyborgs. This is an actual person from their memories. I did not even know the person or anything associated with them, but they have connections to the Antares portals and Sirius portals as well. That's what the remote viewing revealed. So that was interesting for me to learn about. And I did not include the person's name in this remote viewing just to protect their privacy. I did let them know that a remote viewing had been done where it was discovered that they were involved, so they're aware. I did let them know. But the Antares information is interesting in the Antares portals. So you can see it looks like Asian writing here. These Antares portals, and that's connected to the Starseed Nations, Starseed programs, and protecting this planet Earth. So Starseeds are connected in Star Nations programs. And it's very unfortunate that there's extraterrestrial space programs involved in cloning and the human stuff as well, because Area 51 is cloning black ops projects, black budget stuff that pays for the cloning facilities. And Area 51 is sufficient, self-sustainable with their own advanced generator systems and electromagnetic systems that power these underground bases. And there's tunnel systems, there's shafts, elevators that go down to the underground facility. The US government annexed 90,000 acres for Area 51, just the surface space. So that is just the surface space, and the underground stuff, there's much more. Boring tunneling machines had carved out the underground infrastructure for the underground base levels. And it liquefies the rock when the boring tunneling machine is carving out the tunnels and the facility itself. It gets shaped into specific shapes, whatever you program into it. It liquefies the rock. Literally liquefies the rock, so there's no evidence of dirt, sand, whatever was dug up. There's nothing like that. There's nothing shoveled out. So nobody would even know that an underground base was built. And this is the second remote viewing of that cloning program with the drop ships and what that facility looks like, where the super soldiers ended up 2 super soldiers from the remote viewing. We cover the Donald Marshall and cloning centers on Earth. So there's more than just the Area 51 cloning going on and cryostasis. Talks about the REM sleep and the various implants and how cloning is done here, and some of the pictures and what these facilities look like. They are highly guarded cloning centers, facilities. They're underground. They're not all on the surface. So that is covered in this book as well. Also the military posts, secrets. Area 51 had a lot of espionage done, not just aliens, not just alien reproduction vehicles, reverse engineering. There's other espionage, spy planes, and stealth planes. So they were involved and still are involved with a lot of these black projects. Rockets going into space, nuclear powered explosions, there are various secret crafts, flying discs, the flying disc saucers, cigar-shaped craft, the triangles, the Tic Tacs, the gimbals. That comes from Area 51, Lockheed Martin, Skunk Works divisions, Northrop Grumman, all classified stuff, Black Ops projects connected to the military. That's what the Navy battle groups also saw in the Nimitz encounter, the Tic Tacs and the gimbals. So we talk about that as well. There's some interviews of experts who were given information by whistleblowers who worked at Area 51. So their interviews are included, what was given by the whistleblowers to some of the writers about Area 51, what was disclosed to them. I take in an approach of writing a book of everything about Area 51, the normal stuff that happened in the surface level bases and what happens underground, like the retrieved UFOs from crash sites where that was sent, tunnel building, that kind of stuff. I wanted to take an approach, cover everything about Area 51, the wormholes, the time travel, black holes, white holes, how you combine that together to create dark matter through the CERN technology and go beyond the singularity and visit another universe. That's possible. They figured out how to do that in the underground facilities. Level 48. Talk about Bob Lazar and S4. And Majestic 12, of course, because they played a huge role in the government cover-up of the extraterrestrial existence and the advanced anti-gravity technologies associated with that. Groom Lake Air Force Base, Area 51, where it is, what it looks like, what it does. Groom Lake Timeline. Flying Triangles, SR-71, SR-75, spy planes. All that is covered. The Flying Triangles, the TR-3 crafts, the TR-3A, TR-3B, the Astra, And there are several versions of them. Some of them are triangular and some of them are more rounded off in the shapes. The SR-75 plane, it can decouple, so there's two planes and drop-off points. It's a very military style system. CIA was developing the super high-tech spy plane, SR-75, and that was never disclosed what it looks like, but that's what it looks like. The images of it. Yeah, it could go into space, leave the Earth orbit. Yes, it does. So it's a spy plane. Navigating Area 51, what it's all about, what's there, and how much. Area 51 through the ages. Huge. They have huge runways, hangars. So they have hangars on the surface space for the stealth tech and the spy planes to create those and test those out on the runways. And then they have the extra special classified projects inside. And whistleblowers who actually worked at Area 51, like Edgar Fauch, disclosed a lot about the extracurricular aerospace, anti-gravity crafts and technology that is at Area 51. And Michael Wolff as well discussed the TR-3B and the SR-75, SR-71 projects, and the fact that there is a military space station between the Earth and the Moon, and there's some outposts, bases, and research facilities on the Moon and Mars, and the TR crafts have flown people, supplies there to those places. So the U.S. does have a secret space program off-world, and these insiders, whistleblowers who worked in Area 51 disclose this information. It is a huge, huge military base, and top secret to this day. Eisenhower had even threatened to invade Area 51. Some history on that. And also the South Pole Hideaway and Base 211 and some of the cloning stuff that's connected to that. And Antarctica, that's included here as well. They had their craft, the Germans had a base in Antarctica, and that's where they moved their operation, UFO building operation. We talk about the functions of the Tic Tac craft and what was witnessed, and the black ops and budgets, testing environments, how these UAPs were tested against the battle carrier groups out near California. So a lot of stuff on current UAP information and what's going on is covered here. And you'll get to see that in the book. And UFOs and the theoretical space-time bending technology behind them, the advancements of how UFOs fly, what the technology is, and how that's connected to anti-gravity and electromagnetic propulsion systems. Bent space-time. These UAPs have their own warp bubbles and cloaking technology, as well the various crafts that Dr. Michael Wolff had disclosed, what he saw at Area 51. That's discussed. So the information is quite vast. Propulsion systems and how that works. Secrets of anti-gravity and electromagnetic propulsion, what I know about it, and how that works, plus the research. Paul LaViolette had known a lot about anti-gravity propulsion, connected with Nikola Tesla and T. Townsend Brown with levitation experiments and how they figure out how to create stable electromagnetic propulsion fields and systems. Has to do with levitation projects and microwave research experiments. And then we talk about Neuralink, alien implants and cloning, and implanting soul consciousness into the cloned bodies with certain types of nanotechnology and crystalline disc implants that make that possible, what that looks like. The photonic mind inserts through holographic projection can make you think of anything or anyone or project anything into your brain with that technology, holographic technology. Talk about a little truth and portals here. And then we sort of show a range of different crafts. Your typical saucer, the triangular crafts, the TR series. That's the TR series. And more of these crafts. What that looks like. And my little abduction into Area 51 S1. Being given a jumpsuit. And coming off of the portal beam transport pad, seeing this underground facility for what it was. More TR crafts. They can go underwater as well in above Earth orbit. This is the famous cigar craft shape, which many have witnessed above Area 51, above the mountain range in the skies in the 1970s. So we talk about that, the secret new warplanes the U.S. is developing, and what they look like. There's a few series of them in drones. Yeah, so it's all in the book. Great information. And that's the book. Black and white version of the book. So thank you so much, and namaste.